Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Zach Cockerham. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Brad Solomon. Oh, baby, let's go.
Nothing worse than you've already been in training, Brad. Let's go get it.
Cash out, brother.
Keep range, right to the lead hand.
Right away, Brad Solomon taking the center of the cage, but meeting him there is Zach Cockerham.
5-inch reach advantage for Solomon there. Looked like he's complaining about a cup shot. Ref didn't see it. Big high kick lands at the top of his head.
Ooh, there's that reach coming into play. Cost him there on the end. A little bit of an overextension on that kick.
Cockerham needs to get on the inside. There's a big height and reach discrepancy between the two. For him to be successful, he needs to get on the inside here.
Yeah, he did a good job in the earlier, half of this round. Kickboxing bouts here in the state of Missouri at the amateur level are 3 2-minute rounds, so just keep that in mind. This will be a little bit quicker pace fight tonight.
Beautiful work by Solomon, using his reach to his advantage, just picking at him with the jab, switching his stances, and just staying long. This is what you want to see from the taller fighter.
Referee calling it a slip.
Cockerham doing the right thing. This is where he wants to keep him. This is where he's gonna be at the same reach as Solomon because of the advantage Solomon has over Cockerham. This is where he wants to keep him. This is where he can have his most success. But wow, Solomon doing a great job working in the clinch. Big overhand lands by Cockerham.
Yeah, just sneaks underneath the jab of there, lands that overhand.
Let's finish upstairs with that. There you go. Nice. Every time.
I like those teeps by Solomon, just picking out his body.
Oh, big overhand lands for Cockerham again. They seem to find a home for that a few times now, just peeking underneath the jab.
Solomon being kind of nice to his opponent there, allowing him to fix the mouthpiece, showing some sportsmanship. I'm not sure if I would do the same in a fist fight, but
absolutely not. And sometimes that plays into the little bit of a lack of experience. Some of these guys, their only real test so far is in this training room. In a situation like that, your partner starts to lose his mouthpiece in the training room. You're not going to catch him with the clean one. That's just where the experience comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely. And here in the replay, we saw that initial high kick glance off the top of his head. It definitely did land. Here we see both gentlemen throw kicks at the same time, and saw Cockerham take a slip there. That's the overhand that lands. You have to set up those kicks, and that's what happens when you don't. You can get caught in the middle throwing it. You're off balance because you're on one leg, and it's easy to kind of get knocked down. Even if you're not necessarily rocked, it's easy to get knocked down when you're on one leg.
Right, just your footing's so far out from underneath of you. Round number 2 about to be underway here on MMAFutures.live. This is the free portion of the card at the moment, broadcasting live on YouTube. We will be switching to the pay-per-view later on after bout number 4, so make sure you stay tuned and stay with us at MMAFutures.live.
Action-packed first round we had. At the second half of the round, we saw Cockerham have more success just getting on the inside. At the start of the round, Solomon did well of keeping his range, using those teeps, using those jabs, switching his stance.
You're right. He found his composure in that second half of the round. You see it coming together here in the early part of this round as well. Big knee sneaks through and lands to the chest.
Just choosing his weapons wisely, being that taller, longer fighter. I like the switching of stances. I like the footwork. I like when he's in on the inside, he's using those knees.
And now he's staying long with that front hand as well. Not letting Cockerham get a chance to get underneath of it. Using that as a, almost like a feeler, just keeping it out there, just so he has something to deal with the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just IDing your opponent's weapons, what he can use. That calf kick's been nasty for Solomon. That's adding up. I'd like to see him use that now. He's got the bite. He can feint it and use that to his advantage. Maybe set someone else up.
Right back to it again. I think he's listening to you. 3 straight front kicks to the body, all land. Different variations coming from different angles.
You can kind of see the confused look on Cockerham's face. He doesn't know quite what to do. From the outside, he's getting teeth to the body. He's getting his calf kick chewed up, and he's getting picked apart from jabs and crosses. Yeah,
you know, earlier in that first round, he was able to goad Solomon into more of a brawl, and now we see Solomon slowing down the pace and really starting to tactically take apart Zach Cockerham.
Yeah, and we see that here, but by Solomon being the one walking down Cockerham now, when it should be the other way around. For Cockerham to make this an equal fight, and where they have the same reach, he wants to be on the inside, pushing Cockerham against the fence, or sorry, Solomon against the fence.
Closing out round number 2 here in our first bout of the evening. Non-stop to action so far as we close out round number 2. There's a good chance it could be tied going into this 3rd round on my card. I do have it 2-0 Brad Solomon, but I wouldn't put it past either judges or I wouldn't be surprised if any judge had it 1-1.
Yeah, here in the replay, we see just a beautiful display of kickboxing. Low kicks, the straight punches, back to the low kick. You know, he found his home for that low kick in the 2nd round. Now I'd like to see him use that to set something else up. Fake the low kick, come up the middle with the teep. Fake the low kick, come over with an overhand. Fake the low kick, come up with the alligator kick. There's tons of names for that kick. But let's go ahead and use what's been working. And I feel like that just adds an extra ladder to your kickboxing.
Yeah, at this point, the way the fight's trending, you know, you'd think he just goes back to the well. Keep with what works at this point. Referee Nick Barron's about to signal us off for round number 3. Just like you're talking about, fake low, go high.
Yeah, that was nice. He faked the low kick, came through this with the side kick that landed on the neck of Cockerham.
It's so incredible to see just the composure compared to the first minute of the fight to here we are now 8 minutes in or 7 minutes in for both guys.
No, yeah, for sure. And I don't want the audience to be confused. Just because they're wearing bigger gloves doesn't mean they're taking any less damage. If anything, they might be taking more because there's no grappling being involved here. There's no shin guards on. There's no headgear. This is just pure kickboxing, and I find this extremely entertaining. I'm not sure about you, Justin, but this is
absolutely, you know, and especially for some people who aren't as familiar with the rule set in the state of Missouri. In order for you to not have shin guards and headgear, you either have to have 5 fights, or both guys have to agree. Both these guys making their debut tonight said, we're just going to go in, we're going to slug it out tonight.
I'm into it. I'd like to see Cockerham either A, get a different mouthpiece or bite on his mouthpiece correctly. He's kind of leaving it out, and if they were allowed to knee to the head, that's a good way to break your jaw. If you have your mouthpiece out of your mouth like that, your mouth's open, and you get hit with a big shot in the chin, it's very plausible you get your jaw broken. And again, they're having their debuts. This is something that's an easy fix. It's just that's time expense with the mouthpiece in, either at the gym or.
And a lot of times you see that too. It's also a cardio issue as well. You know, not to say that you guys shouldn't be tired after a war like this, but getting that mouthpiece out just a little bit, just to get a little bit of extra air in your mouth.
And Cockerham making this a dogfight. This is what we wanted to see from him earlier on in the fight. If he wanted to be successful, you got to make it ugly. You're fighting a guy taller, longer than you, and what you were doing wasn't working. So you got to be able to adapt in the middle of chaos, which is difficult to do.
I mean, tough as can be, Zach Cockerham hasn't stopped coming forward for the last 4 minutes of this fight. What a way to kick off the evening.
Beautiful display of kickboxing by Brad Solomon and just absolute toughness shown by Cockerham.
Yeah, I mean, to put your foot on the gas like that for the last 40 seconds when you know you're down on the cards, that takes real resiliency. Awaiting the official decision. might be a little closer than we thought over there. Had it a clear 2-1 on my cards, possibly 3-0.
Yeah, that's how I scored it, Justin. But again, we're not judges. We're not judging the fight exactly. But I did think it was either a clear 2-1 or a 3-0. But what do we know, right?
Right. You know, I've been calling fights for, you know, half a decade now. I feel like every other card I get every decision wrong. All right, gonna send it to Brian Wood for our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. All three judges give this a unanimous decision out of the red corner for Bradley Solomon.
Bradley Solomon improving to 1-0 in his kickboxing career tonight in the Milagro Tequila winner's circle.
Solomon looked great for his first fight. He was calm, he was composed. Even when it became a dogfight, he chose his weapons wisely, moved his back up against the fence, and that's not easy to do when you're fighting someone that just keeps coming forward like that. So beautiful display of kickboxing by Brad Solomon. I'm excited to see him back in this cage, either in kickboxing or MMA.